I should have been recording the last 10 minutes because
Well,
it's all about
yeah, maybe.
it's all about the way to host a tournament. And
Yeah,
Jeff and I were talking about the Bocage tournament in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I played that tournament, I guess it was 3 years ago. And I just came away with, this is the way the tournaments ought to be done. I mean, there's so many tournaments out there where they're
right,
just nickel and diming you. They're trying to make, they're trying to look at the tournament as a for-profit event. And
right,
unless you've got massive sponsors, there's no way it's going to happen. And so, clubs
right,
have got to look at hosting events and just going, you know what? We're just going to host it, and we're going to make it the best damn event of the year,
right,
which means it's going to cost the club a little something. Not much. What would it cost the club to run it? With all the entry fees you get and all this and all that, what's it going to cost the club to run it? What, an extra $5,000 for, you know,
right,
for the annual budget? Whoop-de-doo, you know?
right. And then you've got to have a membership though that embraces the idea of having the courts occupied for X amount of time, and that they see the value in having those kinds of things. I think there is you know, there's some, like here on the grass, there's crews at night that have to fluff and fold. And so, but we're restricted on the entry cost.
Right.
And so some of that becomes a little dicey. So on the one hand, yes, to underwrite it is be great, but the club also has to be vibrant and moving along to be able to do that. Otherwise, you've got crews of people working in the backstory that no one sees. They just come out to the courts, and grass is an organic surface that
It's different.
she's a fickle mistress. And so it takes
Right.
this extra time, and unfortunately,
Well, that's I think a different situation. I mean, look,
yeah.
the Hartrue in the
But I
South.
totally get what you're saying. I mean, I totally agree with you that the idea. I think it's silly for clubs, or pros to try to get an event and then do it on the cheap.
Right.
I think
Right.
that's just what's the point?
No,
I don't get that
exactly.
at all. Why you think the guy's trying to actually make money on the deal? Okay, that's fine, but what about the tradition of the game, the spirit of the game? And we're here at this in another town across the country. It is nice to be embraced and feel like you're welcomed in, and
Well, look,
and all that.
we're talking about Baton Rouge, and we're talking about Bocage tournament, and it's deep Southern hospitality. There's a mindset there that is not
Yeah.
universal. I mean, it should be.
No, they want to show it off. They
Right.
want to show off their, obviously on the cooking side of it, you're talking about, original Creole cooking, the crawfish etouffee and the crawfish boils and all that. And, all that is that Creole cooking. And that's they're just so proud of that part of their heritage that it's like they want to show it off, So,
Well, look,
yeah,
I was mentioning before we
totally
started the
get it.
recording that every night of the tournament is they host something that's different. And, this one night they have the
Yeah.
crawfish boil. And it's just, it's, how can I say? It's very
Yeah.
distracting from wanting to win your match because you know that, hey, tomorrow night's a crawfish bowl, and that might mean I got to play at 4 or 5 o'clock, and that might mean I'm not off the court till 7, and who knows if there's any crawfish left. So
Anything left,
maybe,
right? I just want to sit at the table with the newsprint on it as the guy just dumps the bucket out
That's
onto
right.
the table, right? I
That's
just
right.
want to be there for that moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I think we need to get serious here because I got something I want to talk
Yeah.
about tonight, and
All right.
this will not turn into a serious discussion, I'm sure. However, before we get started, another episode number 151. We kind of crossed a big threshold
Yes.
yesterday with 150.
I'm celebrating.
I can see.
I'm celebrating.
I can see you're celebrating. You lucky dog, you. Well, it is almost 9 o'clock at night there. And look at that, 9 o'clock at night, and it looks like it's 11 o'clock in the morning there. It's just,
There.
wow, beautiful there. So I think 150 is a pretty good number in terms of the threshold we're crossing. Daily publishing. This episode is number 151, and we are still offering a complimentary private 10-minute coaching call. We'd love to get you on this call. We want to help you with your game. Obviously, you know that. That's what this podcast is all about, trying to bring you reality as opposed to all the hype. God, it's driving me nuts right now. I'm looking at these emails. I'm subscribed to some of these lists.
There's a lot going on right now.
The hyperbole is like off the charts, and I'm just thinking,
is that how you say that? Hyperbole? I always thought it was hyperbole.
It means the same thing, Jeff. Hyperbole. All right.
Sorry.
Put the wine glass down, Jeff. And no.
Reel it in. Reel it in.
Anyway, where the heck was I? Anyway, so I know it's 9 o'clock there. It's almost 6 here. I just came back from an early dinner. That's another story. But anyway, so look, a free private 10-minute coaching call where we want to give you maybe a nugget or two on setting you on the path to help you get the result that you eventually want with your tennis game, singles or doubles. Go over to goalballhunting.com, put in a first name and email address, click the button, and you'll get access to this incredible technology, this online calendar scheduler where you get to cherry pick a date and time that works best for you, and then we're notified automatically that this is what you want to do. If you're already on our email list, come on. How easy could this be? Any email you get from us, right, Jeff? There's a link in there. Click it. Go schedule a 10-minute time with us. We'll be nice to you. We promise. So look, I want to bring up a topic that we talk about a lot, but I don't think that, we talk about a lot because it's not theory, it's reality. So I'm down here in, where the heck am I? Irvine, California.
Irvine. You're in Irvine, Brent.
Yes, thank you. Playing the 70 hard court singles, 65 doubles, and played a round of 16 match today against a guy who's really good player. This guy won this tournament, I think, 3 years ago. So he's good. I mean, he's good. And one thing I realized today, and what we've been talking so much about, is that the better players out there, they become shot makers when you feed them balls to the corners. Meaning that if you'll just trust that if you go right up the middle, that first of all, the guy doesn't automatically become a shot maker from the middle of the court. And, worst case is he just hits the crap out of a ball and, whatever. I don't know. I don't think in the 70s that's kind of not a reality. Right. No one's really hitting the crap out of the ball from 2 feet behind the baseline.
No one's pasting it.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, you wouldn't say, that's in baseball, that's a line drives or, God dang it. I've forgotten what the term is in baseball now. When someone hits a line drive, I'll think of it. I'll think of it before we're done. Anyway, I guess my point is today I played a guy that in the first couple of games, I just kind of got a little jumpy early in the point and started trying to go for the corners. And, the next thing you know is he's over there just doing some damage, either going up the line hard or coming cross court short. And I just stopped doing that. And I just said, wait a minute. I got to go up the middle, and I got to trust that staying in the point an extra shot or two.
Right.
And it works in terms of most players are not skilled or actually want to put in the effort to get out of the way of an incoming ball to the middle of the court.
Right.
I mean, most of the footwork, if there's footwork, is just to back up and delay the inevitable of getting eaten up by a shot. It might be coming a little bit slower by then, but still, it's like it's in here, right?
Right.
So, how do we convince guys and gals to relax in the first couple of shots of a point and
Right.
not go for a corner, because there's that instinct that says, well, if I play my shot away from that opponent, that's a good thing. And in reality, when you play it away, all you do is you give them better geometry, because
Right.
you're not really putting them under a lot of pain by doing that. So, your thoughts, Mr. Jacklich? Whoops, we just got.
I think probably one of the biggest things is
Well,
what happened?
we're kind of buffering a little bit. I think I'm uploading a video right now, and it just is it's buffering. So my apologies. Anyway,
little choppy.
Yeah.
Well, first is, are you tuned in enough to actually recognize, as you were today, after a few games, to say, we need to change the game plan here. And
well, that wasn't even the game plan. I mean, and look, I'll be honest with you. I didn't have like a,
right.
game plan. I just figured I played this guy a few times before, and I've beaten him both, I guess all 3 times. Today was the 4th time. And it's like, what's a weird thing, man? I mean, it's like, I was thinking when I was walking out there today, you're going, why don't I take notes after a match?
Right.
off a top guy like this, why don't I take notes after the match and go boom, 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 like maybe 3 little bullet points,
Right.
so that I could go back this morning and go, oh, okay, well, that's what worked before.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't do that. I go out today and I go, well, let's see what's going to work.
Right.
Great,
so I'm
great
going to
game
give you a homework assignment then tomorrow.
Okay.
So that is, because you're close to the club there. But so your homework assignment tomorrow is to go get yourself a new little black book and start again. I had one. I mean, listen, I had one when I played full time. When I was playing full time after college, and in college, that's when I started it. I had a diary and a black book on players. And you're right. I don't have one now, but now that you're bringing it up, we really should. You should have your black. You
Right.
should have your black book on players, and at
Right.
least it gives you, especially those that you've played, and it's a sense of confidence. It was always great to look in the book, and then you're also collating notes from other guys that you trust, and trust their opinion, and or that they've played them and said, this worked for me, this didn't, and you can add those as sub notes to your black book, but. You're right. You should do that. So there's your homework for you tomorrow, is to go get a new book and start at this event.
All right. Well, I'm playing the guy tomorrow who I squeaked by last year in the semis, 5-5, being down a break in both sets, and pulled it out. So big serve, big forehand. I mean, if you don't return serve well, meaning if you don't at least get it deep, you got a problem. You got a real problem. But did I take notes after last year's semifinal victory against him? No, I did not.
No.
So maybe tomorrow, win or lose, I should start. You're right.
Well, sir, of hitting the ball up the center of the court, and the better players clear and get around the ball. The ones that don't, the first instinct is actually to retreat from the ball, not get out of the way of the ball. And if you notice that that's what your opponent is doing, retreating from the ball, not clearing the ball, and preparing to hit a forehand, oh my gosh,
right?
You want to do this all day long,
yeah,
because they're just going to be tied up inside, and then you're going to get a lot of opportunity to not have to really press the edge of the court. There's going to be a lot of stuff for you to work with as that ball comes back, probably kind of shallow in the court. But that's one of the things to notice is, first, which side of the ball does he like to gravitate to? Because it's not always the forehand. Some guys two-handed backhands, that's where they gravitate to. So then you have an expectation. Then you hit that shot, you kind of know what's coming. But at the same time, do they clear or do they retreat from the ball? and that's there's two, huge different pieces of information there to deal with.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think it's
So
the
that's
same thing in the serve too. I think if you're thinking about serving to a corner, either you think about swinging the ball out wide, or you think about serving down the tee. Is that you better be darn accurate if you're going to do that, because if you don't, you're going to put it right in the guy's honeypot. And so, for me today, a lot of it was sometimes a voice would pop up. Well, let's try this, and I go, no, let's just go to the body again. Let's go to the body again. And the other thing that I had success with today in the ad court, which I've had success with other guys before, is on a first serve, is taking it and really hitting a high bouncer out towards that alley,
right,
and coming in behind it, and just and it's because I find that if you hit the high bouncer and you stay back, he can neutralize it and get back in, and now you've kind of lost the opportunity. So to me, it's like if you're going to take that ad side first serve, being a righty and not kicking it, but just bouncing it out towards the alley. If you hit it decently and you come in behind it, you're going to get a ball you can work with.
You're going to get that extra step and a half, in the court, and that's the other reason why you're going to do that, is even when you hit if the guy isn't standing too far back, if he's a baseline kind of guy trying to squeeze you on the serve a little bit on the first serve, a high kicker into the body. Getting up high, and then again, you get that extra step and a half into the net to close the gap on the ball. So that can be a very quick, almost a free point. You still have to execute the volley, but it can be a very, you can dial up a couple quick points that way.
You got to execute the volley, but I think that if you just make it and force the guy to pass you, I mean, sometimes you get, sometimes you get returns where you can really come in and be kind of aggressive with it, just because the ball's in a certain spot and it's just lining up for just aggressive is not a out of control word. It's just let's
it shouldn't be
let's hit it. Let's hit it. And
it shouldn't be interpreted that aggressive equals I'm hitting it within an inch of the line.
And with every possible power I've got in my body right now. Right?
And I think it kind of, there's a whole different, mindset when you're probing, when you're doing something, this isn't working, or it's not that it's not working so much, but is there a better way to go here? Is there something else to figure out? And so you made an adjustment, you did some recon and thought, and found out like, this is a much better way to start playing this guy. Right. And you narrowed the court.
It was 3-0 in the first. And I just said, if your instinct and the ball comes in is to go to a corner, fight it. Just take it right back up the middle. And I won the next 9. I won the next 9 games. So I won 3 in zip by simply playing the point aggressively to the middle third of the
I think
the court.
If you think about Team and Djokovic, right? And that first set or second set, maybe first set and a half. I forget when they finally had their first rain delay, because they had a few. And Djokovic was trying to come in. It was obviously not his, his favorite way to play, but he was trying to mix it up and trying to do things. And he was literally like missing every volley. I mean, if you recount that, he was coming in and just chunking the volley. He just wasn't doing well. So then Team, he went with it too. He didn't fight that. He started playing a few more drop shots. I'm going to pull this guy in. As long as he's missing and not doing a good job up there, let's bring him in and make him do a few more.
Right.
Until that changes.
Right.
And then it changed. Because actually, I think in the end of the 4th and 5th set, Djokovic actually started constructing the points a little better and coming in and actually started making those volleys. So it doesn't last forever, but as long as something's going on and you can milk it for a handful of a few games or a set, do it. But you got to be aware though that you may have to again adjust your tactic a little bit to finish off the match. But I think the big lesson here is that you recognize, like, this is.
Well, I think some of it for me today, Jeff, was, all right, going out wide of the corner is not working. Let's at least bring it in and just see what happens. It's not like a strategy.
Right.
It's more like, well, let's just change the look a little bit, because I guess the point I wanted to make is that the better players, when you pull them out to one of the two corners, they get to look at the court in a completely different way. And they actually get some swing freedom out there, whether they're going to play it up the line or whether they're going to play a high roller or whether they're going to play a hard cross court. They get swing freedom because you've put the ball out there for them on that corner. And
right. I mean,
and so
the better players
go
ahead. The better players love a target.
Yeah.
I mean, we all love a target, and so if you can take that away and make them kind of have to create targets, not actually hand them one.
Right.
It can work in your favor. It gives you just a little buffer in the middle of a point, to actually all of a sudden change the dynamic of the point while it's going on.
Bueno. Excellent. God, you're good. You're just good. God dang it. All right. Well, whatever it is, they're not paying you enough. Your students aren't paying you enough. I'll tell you that right now. So if you need an agent, let me know. All right. Look, we've kind of worked this one over pretty good. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, actually, when we're recording this.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, what would we like to find folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Okie dokie. All righty. Well, look, get out there. God, the sun here is just beating me up right now. It's just coming through. What time is it? 6:15 at night. It's just like I'm sweating like a dog. Get out there today. Help someone else have a great day. Jeff will do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.